I've been thinking all day long about how the holidays can really accentuate loss. If we've lost someone we love, whether it's been 6 weeks, 6 months, 6 years, 16 years, the holidays just seem to make all of that so much more front and center. And, you know, um, the bright lights, the trees going up everywhere, can just make it all the more clear what we've lost and what we're missing this year, who won't be at the table. And it can be such a difficult thing, and we want there to be like this magical checklist for grief that we can just mark off the boxes and somehow arrive at some magical, peaceful place where we're over it, right? And I think society really plays along with that too. They're very uncomfortable with grief and loss. And side note, when you're grieving, people can say some really stupid things and they mean well, but they can say some really terrible things. Grief doesn't look like grief the same for everyone. So, and not even sometimes from loss to loss, we can find ourselves during one loss and responding, experiencing one set of circumstances and emotions, and then in another loss, it can be completely different. We can find ourselves angry or numb, crying uncontrollably, or just very, very sad. And grief also is not linear. So we may be going along doing our thing, making progress, feeling better about things, and all of a sudden, like out of nowhere, right? It's a tidal wave. And it can be so hard during the holidays to figure out how to navigate things. And first of all, grief is not a project that we do, it's not a goal, it's a process that we go through, and it's different for everybody. What we find is that we have the space and the room in our hearts to incorporate that loss, whether it's someone that's passed away, whether it's someone with significant dementia or Alzheimer's, and they no longer recognize you, don't know your name. Maybe it's an estranged family member, someone you've been apart from for many, many years, or maybe it's a loved one that's incarcerated, right? And the pain of that, all of that just becomes so much more heavier during the holidays. So what's important to remember is that it doesn't look the same from person to person. There's no right or wrong way to do it. We are going through a process where eventually we learn to make space in our hearts. We learn to create a space for it in our story. It exists right alongside everything else that is also true about our lives, but it takes time and it looks different from person to person. So this holiday, what we have to do when we're dealing with loss, we have to take care of ourselves. And we have to understand it's not up to us to, maintain the status quo for happiness and joyfulness and cheerfulness. The bright lights, that's not cheerful, when we're really grieving. And I can remember having some very definite thoughts about where people could put their bows and their trees and that kind of thing. So we have to really take care of us. We have to do what's right for us. And if that's being around family and friends and people, then do that. And if it's pulling away and saying no and declining some invitations, then do that. And you don't owe an explanation. You don't owe anyone an explanation. You have to do what you need to do to take care of you and get through the holiday any way that you can. So this holiday, I'm not cooking. I'm not cooking a darn thing. I'm not turning my oven on. I ordered Maggiano's. I'm going to enjoy the family that is here. Of course, the empty chairs are going to be something that I see and I recognize and I acknowledge. But I'm going to enjoy the people that are here with everything that I can. I'm not cooking. We're ordering it in, picking it up on Thanksgiving Day, and I'm just going to spend the time enjoying the people that are here. So I have a feeling there are more than a few of you out there that are also experiencing the sensations of grief being intensified during the holidays. And so I just want to say, you're not alone. You never will be. Take good care of you.